Whenever I come to Guinea, there's this lifestyle change that happens for me. I go from living this fast, on-the-go, work-focused lifestyle to this think first, act accordingly lifestyle that prioritizes all the important things in my life, whether that's breakfast and lunch or even praying on time. I'm more aware of the things that I need to do and less panicky when it comes to the things that I need to get done. And when I say panicky, I don't mean a simple nervous and anxious type of panic. I mean the type of panic that makes me feel like my mind and my body are screaming at the exact same time, even if there isn't anything in my presence causing it to happen. Like I'm running late for an appointment that don't even exist. In my brain, all of my thoughts are organized and scattered, loud and overlapping, and just chaotic all at once. Like there's something wrong, but I can't explain to you what or even why. But then I come to Guinea and that feeling, those feelings, that worry simmers and quiets. The chaos of thoughts in my brain slow down just enough for me to hear myself think. It's like my brain and my body finally get the chance to catch up to each other and remember that everything is okay. It's okay to breathe and take a pause. It's okay to just chill and sit down and not have to worry about what's next. Almost as if my internal self equates the feeling of being in Guinea to the feeling or the sensation of peace. The kind of peace that doesn't yearn for productivity but begs for time alone, time with family, and just time to reset from everything. What if that peace didn't come from the pace of the country or even the location of the country? What if it came from the culture itself? In America, we take so much pride in the amount of hours we put in at work, how many days we clocked in, our individuality from our friends and our family, productivity, perfect credit scores, and even the quality of our closets, whatever it is, you name it. Although America is undoubtedly a country of great opportunity, it is also a country that instills pressure in us to thrive and reach semi-impossible heights very early on during our pursuit of success. In the midst of that journey, we often forget the beauty of rest and stopping to smell the roses. But if you happen to smell the roses too much or for too long, you face the risk of being judged for not hustling hard enough or start bearing the weight of FOMO, the fear of missing out. Now, with all this being said, this is not to say that Guinea is perfect by any means. Many people here face serious poverty, the type of poverty that the American mind just can't even begin to comprehend. Many people here struggle to think beyond their current circumstances, they lack compassion, and are under the leadership of a seriously flawed and corrupted government. In short, the issues in this country are serious and do not go unnoticed. However, there is still a richness in how people live, connect, and value time that I just cannot ignore. It leads me to wonder, how can a place with so little feel so full, and why does a country with so much still feel so empty? The thought of this question didn't form overnight, but over a period of time, over the span of several meals alone and a few number of meals shared with family, over several salahs prayed alone and a select number prayed with strangers, cousins, friends, and close family. Engaging in conversations with Native Guineans, first-generation Guinean Americans, and African Americans who were born and raised in America increasingly raised my awareness about this topic. The question itself of why a country with so much feels so empty and why a country with so little feels so full didn't form until my most recent trip to Guinea. Throughout all these experiences, I've noticed a few common denominators: community, family, and religion. Over time, I realized that when the balance that is community, family, and religion is thrown off, everything else in my life feels unstable. It's sort of like the movie Encanto. In the beginning of the movie, we learn about the madrigals and their powers which they've been gifted and how it directly relates to their house, except for Mirabel, the main character without powers. Cracks begin to form in their house, which start to show up around the same time that the family's powers are starting to weaken. Eventually, their house collapses. On the outside, it just seems like the family's house is falling apart because of its relationship to each family member. Eventually, Mirabel begins to realize that the real damage comes from the emotional distance, unrealistic expectations, and the loss of unity within the family. The movie Encanto directly mirrors how in life, when our foundation of community, family, and faith is unsteady, everything else will start to fall apart too. When the parts of us that make up the foundation of who we are begin to weaken, gaps form. Gaps we start trying to fill with noise, distractions, meaningless errands, even things that we don't believe in, all in the name of passing time. When I come to Guinea, the variables that have filled those gaps are replaced. The cup of mine that was once half empty and filled with gassy air is now starting to be filled with substance. The loud noise, the wasted time, and distractions are now traded for intentional time with my loved ones, including our neighbors, sharing meals and laughs with those around me, and prioritizing my faith. Being a first-generation Guinean American as well as the oldest daughter is a title I hold very dear to my heart. I am the first person in my entire lineage born and raised in America, a country which has presented me with so many past, present, and future opportunities. On the flip side, I'm the first in my family that's learning to navigate between multiple social and cultural norms, different ways of thinking, sometimes speaking, and staying grounded in my faith while being exposed to others. Sometimes it gets so hard trying to balance it all when my vision is being clouded by a never-ending list of goals and my mind is constantly working against the illusion of time. However, no matter how hard it may get, the beauty of having such problems is a privilege that I do not take for granted because verily, with hardship comes ease. What a blessing it is to have a country to go back to, a country that reminds me of the sacrifices both of my parents made so that I can have a life that most would only dream to have and that some died trying to attain. A place where my mind and my body can come together and sing the same song, a sanctuary for me to rest, reflect, and reset from my everyday life. A country that is not only rich in history but rich in values. A country I am beyond grateful to call home. Guinea may not be the prettiest, the most developed, most evolved, or the most popular country, but I would not trade it for the world. Now, with that being said, go home.